My first week at a gentleman's club, a white customer walked up to me and said I was the most beautifulest nigger that he's ever seen in his life. I call it a double-ended dildo. You can fuck yourself either way. Those girls are doing those extra things. Because that is what it is to be a dark-skinned stripper. It was hard for me to be in clubs because I knew that I had a certain amount of talent that wasn't gonna always be appreciated. And that was for a multitude of reasons. The number one reason being the color of my skin. When you work in the gentlemen's clubs where there are a bunch of women who look like this, and we're now in 2026 where unfortunately you can get extra things for a very low price. And those girls are doing those extra things. My first week at a gentleman's club, a white customer walked up to me and said I was the most beautifulest, not a word, beautifulest nigger that he's ever seen in his life.
Did you lose your job that day?
Nope. I went back to work the next day because that is what it is to be a dark-skinned stripper. There are so many people who, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to name it, never really go through anything in life. And so they just kind of have this like green way of thinking. And it is. I call it a double-ended dildo. You can fuck yourself either way. So I was raised by lesbians. I have two moms. And then in addition to that, my mother and my stepmother divorced. And then my mother married my father. So I have two moms and a dad. And we had certain conversations and we were able to like move past certain things that we both experienced. And when I say we, I mean literally all of my parents, because we all have had our separate journeys. As their child, I've had separate journeys with them. And I can say for a fact that like even through all of that, pick up the phone and call my mom and it's the stupidest thing in the world and she will have an answer. And if not her, my other mom, and if not her, then my daddy and my grandparents. And like, there's a plethora. Shout out to you. Love y'all.
Pressure on my shoulders, feel my vertebrae breaking. My dog died, I got his mother told her, don't even thank me. They mention top D&D and niggas don't even rank me. In the streets, niggas treat me like Jay-Z. For real, I put them kids back in school for like the last 6 summers. Fed the homeless on Thanksgiving, man, who really went hungry? Every Christmas bought them kids gifts with my own money. I know the feeling when you broke and feel like nobody love me. That's from an eagle eye.
I can go?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, y'all? It's Ariana, a.k.a. Syren, a.k.a. Syren Kitt. I'm here with RedBloxx. Thank you guys so much for giving me space, letting me be dope, and I can't wait to see y'all again.
What's up, everybody? We here with another episode of RedBloxx TV, and for those of you that don't know, we have a special guest. Some of you all, maybe you made it to the events. Some of you all may know her from social media. Some of you all may be more familiar when she's in the sky. But today, she's on the floor. And it's our girl, man. Let's give a round of applause for my girl, Syren, man. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I've actually never done a podcast before.
Really?
No.
Okay, so we're going to get into it today, and we're going to take them to that other side of the world that they don't get to explore.
Let you.
Oh, she got to lock in for this one, y'all. She's giving y'all the real deal. Glasses is off.
I'm going to let y'all
no
get in.
Bars,
put these right here.
Okay, okay. And the fit, that's a lovely fit. You came well put together.
My stylist really just was like, what do you need? And I was like, your brain. And this is what his brain came up with.
And it looks good on you. Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Chris.
That's what the girlies do? A little bit of...
No. This finger.
What? You got to do this?
Yes.
What is
yes.
that?
Carisha made this up. It's wrong. It's definitely this.
This is what they do at the haikus.
Yes.
Okay, so my first question would be, pole dancing gets misunderstood a lot. Mm-hmm. What do you personally define it as?
Any other form of art. Like, that's literally what it is. It's called pole dancing, right? And I think a lot of times, because we're so used to sexualizing everything, that people forget the art form, the discipline. I cannot tell you how many pole burns and scars I have from trying to learn how to master just one trick, you know? That takes patience, that takes drive, that takes discipline, that takes focus, that takes a certain amount of strength that a lot of people don't have.
And then speaking of strength, it's like that first fall, that first time, you know, you missed the move and you land on your...
Do you want to know something? I've never fell off the pole.
You've never fell?
And I need some wood. Knock on wood. You hear me, God? Knock on wood. That never happens. But I have never fallen off the pole, not when I was teaching, not when I was performing, and not when I was practicing.
So not even like one little slip? Not even like a... Oh, I was going to ask, like, because I think of it like it's kind of like sports, like if you skateboard and, you know, you go for a move and they fall. Like in many sports you fall, how do you get back up? So here's the thing about
pole dance. It's like everything is completely optional, right? And so when you have the choice to be able to enter into something, or let me say when I had the choice to be able to enter into something, I don't do things that I know that are going to hurt me. So I'm not gonna go into a trick that I know for a fact I did not condition for this, I didn't train for this, I've never been spot for this trick before. I'm not gonna go into something knowing that I can harm myself just for the fuck of it.
Okay, so it's not just, you can't just get up on the pole and go. Like, you're going to the gym, well, you said conditioning, so I'm trying to, what's the pre-workouts before we even get to the pole?
So also, believe it or not, I've never been to the gym. I've never been to the gym. When I go to the studio, I stretch and I warm up just like any other, you know, dancer. I have a classical background, so my stretch is pretty extensive. And then after my stretch, I do my conditioning. So stretching and conditioning, just like anything else, is two completely different things. When you're stretching for pole, you want to get your body warmed up and engaged for movement. The only thing that's kind of different is that it's a little bit more along the lines of a Zumba warm-up, because you want to get your heart rate up and you want to get your body pumped up to get ready to go full speed. And then the conditioning part is actually working on your biceps, your triceps, your core, the part of your muscles that are going to be engaging when you're doing most of your tricks.
Okay. And you said that you have a classical background. I think I remember seeing that you went to, or you're currently in school in New York, a dance school?
I did. I was.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So I am enrolled in the Joffrey Ballet School. I go there every year for the summer for the last 2 years before last year. My first time ever going, though, I was 13. And my mom was terrified to leave me in New York City by myself. Anyone who knows my mom will tell you that lady is like a helicopter mom, and she always has been. And so to take me all the way there, she was just like, what's gonna happen to you? What are you gonna do? Like, what's gonna go on? And I ended up going, and I had the time of my life. And then I unfortunately went through some transitions in life. And then when I had my own adult money, I was like, I'm going back. And I ended up meeting so many people of so many different backgrounds and lifestyles, and we all were able to connect over this thing called dance, which I am just obsessed with.
You know, I'm always gonna pick the little thing in between that you just try and give me a sprinkle of. Walk me through the mental journey of, you know, you were in school. You said that some things happened. Mm-hmm. Overcoming your trials and tribulations so you can stay on this course. What is the discipline like? Like, how do you get from 13 to 23 and sticking with this through everything that you've been through? What's like been your driving force this whole time?
To be completely honest with you, I have died more than I've lived spiritually. I've gone through so many things that literally forced me to have to kill old versions of myself in order for me to get to the next thing, right? Yeah. And it hurt. Like, I had to be comfortable falling and failing, right? Because if I never know failure, then how will I ever know triumph? And I think that that's something that I've always valued. Even as I was young, I've always loved failing, because I know that means that I'm a step closer to actually winning.
Yeah.
And there's so much knowledge and wisdom that comes from failing, right? I think about failure in the sense of privilege. There are so many people who, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to name it, never really go through anything in life. And so they just kind of have this like green way of thinking. And
sword.
It is. I call it a double-ended dildo. You can fuck yourself either way.
Well.
But it is, and it's so true, because like you can go through life with those rose-colored glasses and never go through anything, and that's great, right? That's great for them. But for me, I needed that. That was a part of how I was able to build myself, and I take more pride in who I am now because I went through so much. And I know for a fact that there aren't a lot of people who could have gone through what I went through and come out of it. So many of my friends did not make it past 18. I lost more of my friends and my family as a teenager than I did as an adult. And so all of the failures that I have, everything that I go through, it's not just for me, it's also for the people in my life who didn't get to experience that and who are living through me, whether they are living or no longer living.
So beautifully put, and I honestly think it's sad that we, in the Black community, we have these shared experiences where it's like, one, shout out to you because you don't look like any of the struggles you've been through.
I know.
And then two, I'm sitting here relating because you're like, this is for the people that was with me on the journey or supporting me that can't be here. I feel like a lot of us in the Black community, have a similar kind of like trajectory with that. But honestly, what would you say is like, what would you say on a more lighthearted note? It's one of like your happier reasons for going. Something that like you just like, this make me feel good on Fridays when I get in the studio and I get to do, whatever.
My mom.
Mom.
My mom. I cannot even imagine. Every day, every time I do something, I start a new business, I do a new venture, there is always 1,000 things that my mom taught me that if I did not know, I would not be able to do it this way. And it's not just me, it's literally every person who's in my life that has met my mom. They will say like, who is this lady? Like, I know growing up with her must have been crazy, and it was. However, I have so much experience, and I'm so open-minded that I can literally charge towards anything. And I know for a fact that because I have all of this knowledge that she gave me, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be more than okay.
I really love that. Like, especially in our community, just parents that are active, that pour into their kids early, consistently, and then kids having the benefit of, being able to absorb that knowledge and literally apply it to the real world, where it's like, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't have guidance, whether it's parents, peers, or whatever. And on top of not knowing what to do, they can't even ask, where to get the help, or even things they don't know to ask for. They're not even getting that game.
So I was raised by lesbians. I have 2 moms. And then in addition to that, my mother and my stepmother divorced, and then my mother married my father. So I have 2 moms and a dad. And while I made some choices in my life and decided to leave home early and explore my life the way that I wanted to, when I ever really, 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 really needed someone, I always had at least 1 parent, if not 2 and maybe 3. And so I can definitely say that, once we had certain conversations and we were able to like move past certain things that we both experienced, and when I say we, I mean literally all of my parents, because we all have had our separate journeys. As their child, I've had separate journeys with them. And I can say for a fact that like even through all of that, I called my mama the other day because my pipes froze in my house when we had that winter storm, and I was like, Ma, what do I do? And she was like, this is what you do. I didn't have any trash cans one time, and she was like, you can call the people and they'll come and give you a trash can for free. No, Mom, I didn't know that. This whole adulthood thing is so brand new. Like, I did not even know you could. There's so many things that I literally pick up the phone and call my mom, and it's the stupidest thing in the world, and she will have an answer for me. And if not her, my other mom, and if not her, then my daddy and my grandparents. And like, there's a plethora. Shout out to you, love y'all. There's a plethora of people in my life who will show up for me, and if they can't, they will find someone who can.
Now, just to shake up your thinking real quick. If pole dancing in the nightlife, in the studios and everywhere just disappeared tomorrow, what would Syren be doing? What would bring you your
now?
What would
That's
bring
the
your
thing,
happiness?
right? So exotic entertainment is just one of my revenue streams, income streams, whatever you want to label it. I also just started pole dancing 4 years ago. I just turned 23, so it would have been a little frowned upon if I started any earlier than that. And so the reason why there's a difference between Syren and Syren Kitt is because Syren belongs to the strip club. Syren was born in a strip club. She grew in a strip club. That's her spot.
Time out, y'all. I've been talking to Syren Kitt this whole time. I only said Syren. I meant Syren Kitt.
It's definitely Syren Kitt, but it's okay. It's all the same jizz, but in my mind, there's 3 compartments for my body and how I show up in my body. So Syren Kitt is a event curator. She's an entertainer. She's a talent scout. She's a whole bunch of things. In addition to being able to strip. Another key difference is that when I say Syren is just a stripper, she is just a stripper. Syren does stripping, Syren Kitt does burlesque. Those are 2 totally different worlds. There are people that I know who do burlesque that will never strip a day in their life. And there are people that I know that strip that would never think about being a burlesque performer. It is 2 totally different worlds that requires 2 totally different energies. It's all showing ass though. Where everybody's showing ass.
So does burlesque? Because I'm a newbie.
Just to clarify.
I'm a newbie. Does burlesque involve a pole, or that's something?
So there is burlesque, there's polesque, and then there's pole. So I do burlesque and I do polesque. But burlesque traditionally is just a striptease. Okay. So that is somebody starting fully dressed and then getting fully nude. And the reason why that's different from stripping is because you can go to strip clubs that don't allow you to get nude. You can go to strip clubs that make you get nude when you get on stage. You don't have no damn choice. So it's a very different world. I personally would say I don't enjoy stripping. I've always loved being a performer. I've always loved the idea of someone appreciating my art more than they're appreciating my body. And when you're a stripper, you don't get the luxury of deciding which one they appreciate. You don't get the luxury to do that, but as a performer, you do.
I actually saw on Twitter a lady. She went to the strip club for her birthday, and she was I guess she was looking for someone more artistic like you, because she said, she was like, look, I don't care how fat that ass is. I don't care how good she looks. If she only gonna do a little heel click and she can't do no pole tricks, she's like, I don't wanna. But she was like, I want to see her actually dance and do. She was like, I want to see her do something that I can't do at home. So if you're just gonna do a little one,
I went to the strip club one time, and I shit you not, I spent $1,000 in that goddamn club. I bought a section, I bought ones, I got a bottle, all that. I wasn't even like on nothing. Like, it was like a Tuesday, and me and my homegirl was just out of town in Myrtle Beach. And I was like, let's go to the strip club, because I'm addicted to the strip club, because sometimes I just want to go with it. I just want to smell it. It just smells like money. It's really a problem.
I'm gonna tell you what I do at the strip club after you tell me this.
And so I walked in, and my homegirl was like, let's go get some drinks and sit down. I'm like, I'm not sending no damn. Somebody buy a section, girl. You tripping. We about to blow a bag in this joint. Like, for real. And that's exactly what I did. And so I'm not the type of girl who's going in to tip anybody because I'm going to tip you. You're going to get about $300 up off me per person. I'm going to tip you. So if you're going to come, you better get up there and show me. It better sparkle and come out the air or something. I need something. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to come. Something. I can go to the club right now and see exactly what you're showing me. So what is the difference in between me seeing that for free and seeing this for free? And that's how I think about it as anything, really. If these people are paying me, I need to show you something that you can't see for free. I'm not going to show you my coochie hole. But I will show you.
Ask, so you giving me the like what?
I won't show you that, but I will definitely give you something you have never seen before. That's for certain.
My pastime, because I don't know, this could just be in my mind, but my pastime for the mind fuck. The only time I ever go to the strip club is, like you said, traveling. So when I go out of town with my boo, I'll go get however many ones. I'll give her the money, right? Mm-hmm. And then we'll just go stand apart from each other, and I'll just be like, find a girl that you like, and then, you know, just start doing you, and I'll come over later.
So
and
you
then
hate
by the time I come over,
I'll bring about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bitches. Yeah.
Well, by the time they come over, I might just be coming up to ask her something or bring my girl something to drink or some shit. And they're like, I don't know if it's the job, but they always end up in love with her as if like, I guess it's always more comfortable for women to perform for other women versus men. Depending on the vibe you get from the women or something.
Well, I'm finding it.
It's a situational thing.
I'm finding it. Sometimes women are so comfortable with women that they forget that I don't know you and you don't know me and we are not homegirls. So there have been times where, you know, a finger or two wandered somewhere that it wasn't supposed to wander and I was impolitely shocked. And it's very uncomfortable. But that's very rare. For the most part, the women are better than the men. And then you have some women that are worse than men, and they should never go to the strip club ever.
And they usually, what kind of hairstyle? Do they got a particular kind of hairstyle or a particular kind of way that they dress? Or you just can't tell?
It's not a dress thing. It's more of an energy thing. For me, when you're too like touchy, this could even be a male customer, but like when you're too touchy from the jump, like we haven't even gotten to introduce ourselves or anything like that, unless it's like a urban club type of environment. There are some clubs where the music's so loud you don't have time to do the high and the bye and all that in between. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying, bend over and pop it. There are some clubs that are like that. I hate those clubs. I don't work at those clubs. So the clubs that I work at, right, you want to sit down, have a drink, get to know the person that you're getting ready to spend your money on, which seems about right. So if I am with a customer and he or she or they get a little too touchy with me, I'm usually like, you know what, you could just throw me somebody on stage and I'll see you later. I'll see you later. And then I just go in about my day. Cause like, I don't, and that's why I love burlesque. Cause nobody's touching me. Everyone's just looking at me like freaking Mona Lisa. And then they shower me with $1 bills and then I shake my boobs and then I run off stage. It's a wonderful world.
And so making the transition, you know, you do all types of dance, and it comes in all genres, but going from like traditional to the nightlife or doing burlesque, like I know there's parts of that can't, or like it's not like smiled upon when they intersect. So like being a stripper at night and then doing these other things, was there a point in time where you kind of like had to hide them from each other, or like once you embraced it, what was it like? But like there's definitely like a balance kind of struggle with all of this.
I think within my inner world, nobody was surprised when I became a stripper. I've always been a very sex positive person. I've always been a body positive person. So I think in this greater DMV area, nobody was surprised. But I will say that it was hard for me to be in clubs because I knew that I had a certain amount of talent that wasn't going to always be appreciated. And that was for a multitude of reasons. The number one reason being the color of my skin.
What do you mean by that?
As beautiful.
Because if somebody doesn't like brown skin women,
as I am.
Right, we can fight
it's a
right
very
now.
hard world to be a dark-skinned woman, especially when you work in the gentlemen's clubs where there are a bunch of women who look like this. And we're now in 2026 where unfortunately you can get extra things for a very low price. And those girls are doing those extra things. So I have to sit here with my, as they call me, the Nubian queenness. I have to use my Nubian queenness to my advantage and be the black Barbie in the room. I have to be the diversity count, or I have to be the one who has to shrink themselves because I'm too black, I'm too dark, I'm too this, I'm too that, I have 4C hair, right? So when I go to the club with braids, I make a significantly less amount of money than I do when I go with hair. And when I say significantly, I mean we're talking hundreds of dollars, right? Or, right, it's double dinner dildo, you get fucked either way. I'm telling you, it's either with the braids and you make less money, or you have the hair and then you have to think about frying it and dyeing it and laying it to the side so that you can look like, which is what you'll never look like. But that's what they want you to. They want you to be the black girl who's the approachable black girl. And that has a look. She has a look, right? She doesn't have curls. She doesn't have 4C hair. She has a big bombshell body wave, you know what I'm saying, type of situation. Yeah. And so a lot of times, like I said, I've had to learn how to either shrink or conform. And to me, if I have to conform to anything close to white proximity, I'm shrinking myself. So I really don't have a choice when I go into these places. And there are a lot of clubs that I just won't work at because they're urban clubs, and I'm also not that kind of girl. It is very rare that you actually see me twerk in the strip club. I am not a twerker. I will, however, get up there and flip upside down 10 times. That's what I will do.
I don't even think because I did a little research on you. You haven't seen probably anything of me, but a lot of people that call me Malcolm H. See, I'm for our people. And this personally, there's a nigga behind the camera right now who just put his head down because he knows what the fuck I'm about to say. But
I see him.
That shit, it breaks my heart for you and anybody that has to go through that. And two, even if it's not even agreed upon yet as a conglomerate, I'm just going to speak for everybody when I say we don't condone that.
Yeah.
And then something I realized, that fries me all the time is I'm sure a compliment that you have is you're beautiful for a brown skinned girl or for a dark skinned girl when you're just beautiful in general.
Once a week. My first week at a gentleman's club, a white customer walked up to me and said I was the most beautifulest, not a word, beautifulest nigger that he's ever seen in his life.
Did you lose your job that day?
Nope. I went back to work the next day because that is what it is to be a dark-skinned stripper. I throw my drink, I lose my job, right? And then I lose my job. The club that I work at now is 2 hours away from where I live. I have to go 2 hours away because that's the only club that doesn't treat me like dirt that I can actually make money at. I cannot work in my own city because the way that they have it set up, there are women who are lighter than me and have bigger butts than me, and those are the only women that actually make money here. So I have to be told harsh things. I have to be pushed to the back. I have to conform. I have to do these things, or I'm not a stripper anymore. And there's no in between.
And I got two separate thoughts. One, if they are aware of situations like that job, you say if they treat you better than the other ones, one, they should stick up for you. And two, what is the difference, I guess, between shrinking and conforming? So conforming, you mean changing to be like a white girl, and shrinking is just I'm just not gonna be like as
every
like,
black girl in the strip club shrinks at some point. When there's a customer who touches you and you don't like it, you have to shrink. You literally have to take your real person. I have to take Ariana and I have to shrink her and fit her inside my heart and hold her there, because she does not have the space to show up in the strip club. I would full-blown break down and cry at least once a week. Syren has to show up, right? And I think there's a beauty in choosing who you get to be in the club, because Syren can put up with damn near anything. That's why I'm so good at business. That's why Syren Kitt is who Syren Kitt is. It's not Ariana. Ariana's a very different girl. Ariana is a very sensitive girl. Ariana went through so much between 12 and 16. I shaved my head off for 4 years. So I became Syren Kitt so that there was a way for me to say, I'm starting over and this is who I'm choosing to be. And in those choices, I have to pick the lesser evil. Do I want to be broke? Or do I want to have some money and possibly deal with a few emotional scars that I can talk about in therapy? It's 2026, gas is $4.29. I'm going to go with the money.
I'm gonna hit the
I'm
Barney
going to
Rubble.
go with the money. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Barney Rubble, how he was using the feet on that motherfucker. It's about $5.
So it's just like I said, you got to pick a lesser evil. And it's just like, I am a expensive girl. I like nice things. I like being able to get off work and saying, I'm an adult who's over 21, let's go to happy hour. Happy hour was the best thing that was ever invented.
So can I
love that.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Is Syren the protector that Ariana needed when she was younger?
Yes, 100%.
I get that.
100%. Syren is the person that Ariana was too afraid, and sometimes is too afraid to be. I have had to get bare, literally and figuratively, bare butterball naked on stage. Ariana has extreme body dysmorphia. I look in the mirror and see a completely different body that I know my body to be.
You don't see a baddie when you look in the mirror sometimes?
It depends on the day. It really depends on the day. There are some days where I'm just like, I want this done and this done and this done and this done and this done. And that is not because I don't appreciate my body and don't think that I'm beautiful, because that's far from the truth. It's just I am put inside of a world, and have been, right? You have to think about the way that the ballet world is set up. It's not set up for girls that look like me. They didn't even make tights and point shoes of a certain color until deep into the 2010s. My mom was still bleaching my tights and pancaking my point shoes in the 2010s. So I grew up in an environment that told me I was fat, I was dark, I was ugly. And then in addition to growing up in that environment, I'm around, this is no shade to black men, but I'm around men who either want me to look this way or look this way, and there's no in between. And we both know that this way that I'm talking about. And so I'm dating all of these guys who are telling me I'm too skinny, I'm too this, I'm too that. They want this, they want that. Or I'm finding them cheating on me with girls who look like this because they're young boys and that's what they do. And so that messes with a young girl's self-esteem. And then when I look in the magazines or I look in TVs or I look in movies and I don't see women who look like me.
You hitting my points before I'm hitting them. You fucking me up.
I'm telling you, I live this life every day.
I mean,
every day, son.
I mean, you know, I think for your example specifically, right? And your example specifically, it's like, you know, even outside of your specific forte, like even when you look at pageants, right? You don't see many dark-skinned women. You don't see thicker women. You don't see women that aren't, you got to be super tall to be a model or something. But like, there's all these different physical constraints. And then on the opposite spectrum for the gender side, it's like, for the guys, it's like every time I see a black guy, he's just portrayed as a nigga in the street,
a
someone
stereotype.
in jail. Right. So one side stereotypes, one's not being represented at all, and it does. Like, I hate the fact that unless you just have some kind of luck of the draw childhood experience where you meet these people who actually, you know, are what you want to see. If you don't have those people in your life, you're not going to see it on TV. And I feel like that's why a lot of people get tricked and think, I can't do this, I can't be that. Because we literally don't see the things we want to be, even though we know it's happening and we know we can do it. And that shit is crazy.
I had to get comfortable with failure. I had to get comfortable with the word no. I'm gonna tell you something really funny. I cannot keep a job. And you would think that a person like me could keep a job. I can't. You wanna know why I get fired and or have to quit from my job every single time I've had a job?
Why?
It's for being attractive, but not in a way that's conventional to the public.
They said, sorry, you look good, but you don't look good how they want. So they hired you knowing you look like that, and then was like, we hired you, but we don't like how you look anymore?
Thank God I don't work there anymore. I worked at Home Depot.
Hey, Home Depot, for some reason, they be high. Why does Home Depot hire
in Washington, D.C., because that
you
where
worked at
I'm
the joint
from.
in Northeast.
Yes, I used to. Have you
I
on
seen
used
you
to?
in that joint.
Have
I knew I seen you. You helped me with my...
I worked in returns. You probably didn't see me.
Go ahead.
Beep, 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 beep. I was scanning. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, I worked in returns. And I got fired. Well, actually, no, I didn't get fired. I quit because I was being sexually harassed. And I didn't tell anyone because this is not my first time being sexually harassed from a job, and I'll explain that in a second. I quit. And about 4 or 5 months later, I get a call from Home Depot, and the situation ended up being so horrible that they offered me my job back with a raise because they did not.
No.
They did
that
not.
Means you were supposed to sue their ass for $3.5 million.
It was so bad, but I am so blessed and fortunate by spirit that this person did not get me as horrible as he hurt other women. And
this was a fellow employee?
Yes.
Or like
he was recording unconsensually, by the way. He was recording women that he was having sex with that did and didn't work at Home Depot, and then he was running around and showing the other associates who also worked at Home Depot. So imagine you are working with your coworker and you decide, hey, we're gonna do something. You go to his house and he has cameras all around his house and he's recording you. And this man was constantly harassing me at work, and I'm a person who is I'm no stranger to harassment. And it made me so uncomfortable that I didn't want to come back. In addition to that, I was being harassed by the customers. I wasn't being heard. And I knew that it would have taken him getting caught before they believed me. And that's always the case. That's always a situation, specifically with Black women. They do not believe us until there's proof of whatever's happening. The job I had before that, I can't remember this lady's name, but I'm so glad that she fired me. She ended up firing me because she noticed that there were other employees who were at that job that were harassing me. Firing me is what she probably shouldn't have done, but I found out later that the men who were harassing me were also abusing the animals, and they were also abusing their partners. And so it was just a whole thing of just like, sometimes redirection, sometimes no, sometimes you don't belong here is what could save your life. And so many times I have had to go through something that hurt my feelings because it was going to save my life.
It was protection.
And once I learned to appreciate those things, and once I learned to appreciate redirection, I started to appreciate failure too, because those two things go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, man, let me tell you, traumatizing experiences all through East Baltimore Street. But I had a lengthy, wealthy history with strip clubs. But I don't think anybody talks about the danger for like women in general, just with like having to have a separate phone with a different number, niggas trying to follow you afterwards.
My first year, I got virtually and physically stalked. I just moved. I've lived in DC my whole life. I just moved. And I used to live on Georgia Avenue, if you know where that Walmart is, right on Georgia Avenue. So my house was 4 or 5 blocks from that Walmart. It was my local grocery store. I get off the bus, and the man is coming on the bus. And I know he's coming on the bus because he has a bicycle and he's pushing it on the bus. So I see him trying to come on the bus. This is a customer that I know, and I know him because he comes to the strip club with no underwear on. And he comes every single time to the club with no... You remember certain customers...
Horny, sweaty old nigga.
Yes, you remember certain customers that are just weird, or like their breath stinks, or like... You don't forget those customers, especially if they have money, and it's always the ones who have money. So I'm watching him.
So he be having money, but he be on the bus with a bike?
Hey,
that nigga is frugal.
Either his priorities are messed up, or he's like really trying to like save. I don't know.
He's
Maybe
saving
both?
for you. He sold his car so he could come see you.
Maybe both. So he's pushing the bicycle on, and then he stops. He notices me, right? I notice him. I don't say anything. I keep walking. I'm going inside Walmart. I'm going to go get my things. If you know Walmart Supercenter, you know that the grocery store and the makeup and all of that stuff is on
separate.
2 completely different sides of the store.
Yeah.
So I see him as I'm going through grocery. He follows me from the back of the store all the way around to the other side of the store. Mind you, I didn't see him, because I thought I lost him somewhere in the grocery aisle. He follows me all around to the store to come up to me to tell me that he's a painter. This man is acting like he does not know me. He's never seen me before. He comes up to me. He says he's a painter and he wants to paint me, and I should come meet him at his apartment, and gives me a little piece of paper with his address on it. That was my first year being a stripper.
No business card, no phone number, nigga.
No business card,
Instagram
no
for your
phone
paintings,
number,
nigga.
just an address. Let me paint you.
So
Boom.
if he was real about it, he was like, look, man, I seen you in the club. I got X amount. I'm trying. Yeah. You could have just been like, no, and it would have been that.
They don't do that. Yesterday, I was working my job, and a man came up behind me, and he tapped me on my shoulder, which startled me a little bit. He didn't know why he was startled. I said, because people startle me. If you walk up behind somebody and they don't see you, you know, you might get just a little startled. I said, you know, you got to be as safe around your, you know, places where you go, and you want to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings in case, you know, anybody's following you or anything crazy like that. This man looks to me and smiles and says, well, you're so pretty, I would follow you around too.
Oh my gosh.
This was just yesterday. This was at my 9-to-5 job where I'm fully dressed. Fully dressed. He says that to me. So when I tell you that being a stripper is 10,000 times harder when it comes to safety, I am always like, when I get off work, I'm always watching the cars that come behind me.
In a hoodie.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I promise you. I think all of the women in the world will probably agree with me when I tell you. All of the women.
Shiesty, a hoodie.
The women, the GNCs, the femme non-binary cunts, they'll all tell you it doesn't work. You could look like the meanest, most violent. They actually like that.
No, but I'm saying face masks, they can't see no face. It's just eyes through that bitch. So
it's something about it where like
they can still tell.
They can tell.
Hey, nah, cause sometimes, bro,
tell.
I be seeing women like, and they might be in a suit or like some goofy ass work uniform, and I be like, I know your body is fire under these tacky ass pants.
I don't know what the thing is about that, but I think because men are so used to seeing women naked and, you know, porn.
No, I think if you're really like, if you really got like, cause I mean, you're kind of like on the petite side.
Yes.
And I'm saying like, if she really got like, it's gonna be like.
But what I found is that actually, contrary to popular belief, most men actually prefer my frame.
I'm not saying preference. I'm just saying if in my ability, like what I was saying with like the type of clothes you wear. Like if you got on a suit and you got a
fat, curvy body,
you gonna see that and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember seeing a post on like Twitter maybe like 2 weeks ago, and this girl had on a perfectly, professional, business casual attire, and she got fired from her job because the way that her curves were lined up in her pants, she was kind of thick. And they sent her home and ended up ultimately firing her, and then she sued them because obviously you can't do that. But like, I can't do anything about, people go and lay on the table for this body. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? And so when I see other women that are curvy and they have to deal with certain things, I'm like, y'all need to cut them some slack. Because what do you want me to do? Cut my hips off? And
before you get me canceled, I would just like to say that I've indulged in everything, you feel me? I've been on the BBW
He
side
said, before y'all try to fuck me
I've
over,
been on the BBW side of life.
I did it all.
Hard to everybody. I'm just on a little slim, petite little thing right now, but
I know that's right.
I love everybody, all colors, all
They'll
sizes.
never cancel me because everybody who knows me knows I am a free for all. I like women. I like men. I like they, thems. I like everything.
But you know what my problem is?
I like everything.
Because I'm cool with so many different type of people, right? Mm-hmm. I might wake up one day and I'll be like, man, all you niggas that's walking around with your dreads and you're not getting your hair done, bro, but you want. And I might say some shit, or I might be like, if you're not watching your kids, and it might be my homegirl or my homeboy not watching their kids, and I'm saying shit, I'm like, damn, this shit applying to my niggas.
Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you have to say the thing that nobody else will say because we all know somebody who might know somebody who's doing the thing. And I'm the kind of person where I will address the thing. I am going to say the elephant in the room, and if it applies to you, you should probably do some inner shadow work.
Okay. So, we're about to wrap this up, but give us a little spiel on your next event, where people, how you want them to support you, where they can support you at, you know?
Yes. So, check me out. August 19th, actually no, April 19th. April 19th, I will be at the Barrel House Cafe and Bar. I'm performing at Ava's Menagerie, which is one of the more local but very well-known burlesque events that we have here. And then in May, I will be at Nocturnalities, which I have been doing this year every month. Actually, I love that show. It's a great show. And that should either be May 8th or May 15th. If you follow me on social media at Syren Kitt on Instagram and Twitter, you will be able to see everything, all the things, everything that you need to see. All the things. And also, I have decided to pursue nails again full time. I am a nail tech. I've been a nail tech for 5 years. So I will have a spring sale going on. You can come and see me. I'm on St. Barnabas Road. And yeah, I'm a very down to earth person. So if you just so happen to catch me in real time, in real life, come say something. I
caught it, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
I would say you're better in person. I wasn't too deep on the Instagram.
I think I'm better in person too. Yeah. I think my aura kind of speaks for itself when you're actually in my presence. I have the habit of kind of like cloaking myself, especially on social media, because it can get real crazy.